In this video, I'm going to show you how to thoroughly clean a pellet stove. And in my case, this is a Harman P43. This should work for the P series for sure. So if you have, like I said, a P43 like mine, or a P61A or P68, this will definitely work for you, but the process should be similar for other brands as well. So, let's get into it. This is not something you need to do every single time, but with my pellet stove, this really needs to be done. It hasn't been cleaned in a while. I would say after about every ton of pellets you use, you should do this. But let's take a look at this one because it is pretty bad. And I'll show you kind of the main areas that we're focusing on. So first, up top here is the heat exchanger. We want to get that clean, and then as you follow it down, obviously there's a bunch of ash on the back wall here. There's a pile up here. You go down to the burn pot. This is a mess. This really needs to be cleaned. You can see piles and piles of ash over here. And then all this right here. This just needs to be taken care of. And then down here, the ash pan, even you can see kind of overflowing, but there's a bunch of ash right here. All this should be cleaned up, including the back side of this door and the glass. If it's not obvious, make sure this is off and it's cooled down before you clean anything. Let's work safe. Leave this door closed, the ash pan, and kind of take care of that last. We're gonna work from the top down. That's my biggest tip, so that you're not, cleaning the bottom here and then you start cleaning the top here and realize you have to clean the ash pan again. So let's work from the top down. We'll start with the heat exchanger. So I'm gonna be wearing gloves because this stuff can get pretty nasty, and you can use tools that typically come with these stoves, but I'm going to use a 5-in-1, or you can use a small metal scraper. And I'm going to start by carefully just scraping this heat exchanger down, getting all the loose debris off of here. They have a tool that's shaped kind of like a triangle that goes right up in here, and it'll work well, but this will work too. You can also wear a mask if you would like, because this dust is kind of fine. You can also use a paintbrush to get in there a little better and get more of the fine stuff out of here. Stuff that you can't get with that scraper. Now a tool that I'm going to be using a lot for this is an ash vacuum. You don't have to use an ash vacuum. You can use a shop vac with a fine filter, but this is specifically made to vacuum up ash. It has this filter right here, nice fine filter to protect it. You can see all the ash goes in the bottom there. And just remember when you are doing this to dispose of your ash properly. So I'm going to plug this in, and one of the benefits of this is it has tools like this that's going to work nice for that heat exchanger and all of these little nooks and crannies. So plug this in and vacuum that up top first. We'll get this pile off of here and these piles here, and then kind of start scraping the back wall and the side walls. Unfortunately, you can see this is starting to rust up a little bit. That's too bad. So in fact, let's talk about the rust and the fact that you can see where the ash has built up, and you scrape it, and behind it is where the rust is. So what happens, and this pellet stove was actually, I just bought this house and this was left for I have no idea how long because I just moved in here. So if you leave ash up against any metal, it's going to attract moisture and it's going to sit against that metal, trap it there, and it's going to start to rust all these parts out. So this is one real good reason why you should be keeping your pellet stove clean and why you should do this at least every year and not let it sit over the off season. So kind of not much I can do with this. Maybe I'll research and see if I can paint it or do something. But for now, we're just going to clean it, make sure, you know, we at least prevent as much as we can from this happening again. And right here, vacuum that up. And then we'll work on the burn pot. I have another attachment here, which is nice. Just get the bulk of that off, and all this right here. This back here actually needs to be scraped. The other side too. Now we're going to concentrate on what's called the burn pot, and underneath there is a clean out cover right here with 2 wing nuts. We'll take those and loosen them. Ooh, they're pretty tight. Oh, maybe rusted. Let me get some pliers. Let's try some pliers carefully. Oh, there we go. So we just pretty tight. It's very tight, and I don't think I want to go any more with it because I don't want to break it. Okay, with that one out, I can just let this swing down and kind of pull up and take this off. I'm going to clean this first. Scrape it if you have to. And I'm going to remove this and kind of vacuum it up at the same time. This is called a flame guide. I'll just pull up on it. Like that. And I'm going to scrape these corners all the way down carefully. So this right here is what we're trying to get off of here. These are carbon deposits. Tiny bit of it is rust up here, but I want to scrape that pretty good so that this is all nice and smooth. And same thing on this side. Some big pieces. To get down in these corners, I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver. Just scrape this. So this part takes a little effort, but just keep scraping and sucking it up with the vacuum so you can see what you're doing, because more and more just seems like it keeps appearing. So just clean this part real good. That's pretty good there. Get some up here. And with this, I want to make sure all this is clear. Scrape it up good. And then I'm going to take something like, I have a pick. You can use whatever will fit in these holes. Just make sure that they are free of debris. I'm not really feeling anything in there, so that's good. I'm going to give this a good tap. That's going to free up anything that's in there. I'm going to vacuum this up one more time, and I actually took the ash pan out so that I can reach the vacuum up in here and vacuum underneath there. And right here, it's really hard to get, but I happen to have this little tube connected to the vacuum, so I can get all that. Then while I'm here, I can go back here, just go in as far as I can with this. Now I can put the clean out cover back on. Yours should be a little easier than this, but just want to make sure that's sealed. I'm not going to crank on this, but I did loosen this side a little bit. Try and tighten that without breaking it. Now we can put the flame guide back on the top. Good. Now I can take the ash pan out. I'm just going to vacuum this up before I do, so I don't spread it all over the place. Pop it out like this. Put this off to the side. Right here is the combustion blower. This should be able to be opened by hand, but it's rusted. So let me see if I can just give it a little help. It's not ideal. That's why you need to take care of things. Rusted to the point where I had to hammer it like that. And this will come off. Now I'm just gonna carefully clean off the blower fins here. And in my case, I'm gonna scrape some of this. I'm gonna be careful not to hit that. Now I'm gonna vacuum everything up, and I'm gonna try and go in here just not too far because I don't want to damage anything, but I do have this adapter, so I'll go in there and try and vacuum some of that out too. Put the cover back on. My nice rusty cover. Again, you shouldn't have to do that. I'm going to empty my ash pan. Again, just dispose of it properly. Just make sure you're not putting hot ash just anywhere. Putting it in a nice steel bucket like this. I want to jump to cleaning this glass because I have a little tip. First of all, definitely don't spray this with anything while it's hot, but you can use any type of glass cleaner to clean this. But sometimes if this stuff is really stuck on there, and it isn't, but if it was, oddly enough, if you take just a little bit of ash out of your bucket and use that, that will actually clean it pretty well. And then you can wipe it down with more glass cleaner. But that worked good. Cool. And we can put our bucket back in because we don't need that ash. Just want to vacuum up the back side of this door here. There you go. And you can clean the front glass as well. So hopefully you did not come across rust like I did on my pellet stove. That's the next thing I got to fix on this. But for this video, I figured I'd stick to just cleaning the ash. If you want to see a video like that, let me know and maybe I'll film it. Leave a comment below. Really, the best thing you can do is to prevent that rust from even happening. Keep this clean, keep it maintained. Every year in the off season, you can block off the exhaust to the outside. Just make sure you empty this hopper completely and put a note in there before you even add new pellets to clear the exhaust. Blocking that off should help stop moisture from coming in to the pellet stove and causing that rust. So, hopefully this video helped you out, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one.